Post-match chat is live. Welcome everybody to the first post-match chat covering a match since for a while now, and it's the resumption of the PSL. The 15th game of the PSL finally happened today. Lahore Qalandars and Islamabad United put on a heck of a contest. It was back. It was fourth. The advantage was exchanged, but in the end, the Lahore Qalandars won by 5 wickets off the last ball. Rashid Khan scoring some valuable runs, 15 runs off 5 balls for him, which really won the game. And it joined his fantastic performance with the ball as well. 4 overs, 1 for 9. Extraordinary. That man is a master in the United Arab Emirates. We're going to break down this game. By we, I mean me, Aatif Nawaz, and with me is Aruff Asif. Aruff, what a cracking game of cricket. 143. It didn't seem like the biggest total in the world, but in the end, it was far from easy to chase.
Yeah, I think Islamabad did really well, considering the score that they put out. Lahore were always favourite for this, and to be honest, they've broken that spell, haven't they? Whoever bats, well, they were close to breaking that spell. Whoever bats bowled second loses. Yeah, it was a good game, considering all the slack I gave the PSL returning a few hours earlier on YouTube. I think it was a brilliant game, a great resumption, and yes, now it's just getting excited.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Quetta, of course, were the first team to win a game while batting second, and now Lahore have done it as well. But they took it all the way to the last ball. Now, at the halfway stage, not even at the halfway stage, 3/4 of the way in, it looked like Islamabad were heading to a very low total. That top order didn't really hold up. I mean, Usman Khwaja didn't find much fluency. He hit a couple of boundaries, but only got 18 of 17 in the end. Colin Munro played a couple of gorgeous shots and then just got out to a good delivery from Faulkner. And, sort of Rahil Nazir, Shadab Khan, even Iftikhar and Tallat, they couldn't really build. They had some nice starts, but they couldn't really build. And they put their team in a lot of trouble. One stage, Islamabad was 72 for 5. That was after 11.2 overs. And they were in a lot of trouble. They did very well to recover to 143. And a lot of that is down to Pakistan's extraordinary all-rounder of the modern day, Fahim Ashraf.
Look, Atif, I think Islamabad made it look harder than it actually was. They had a good start, and in the middle, they had 3 players, which to me was one disappointment after another. So Hussain Tallat came in, and you think, right, it's got to be him. It's got to be his day. He's got to score. He's got to score big. This is his chance, right? And then Iftikhar comes in, and again, you're right. This is his chance. This has got to be his day. And then after them two, who comes in? Asif Ali. So it was just one disappointment after the next. And I think them 3 players were key. I think Islamabad selection have to keep this in mind, that playing 3 batsmen who are quite low on form, motivation, morale, whatever it is, they're not performing with the bat in all sorts of, whether it's club or country. And I think that was the area where they lost the game. Because if you remember, Fahim Ashraf came in, played it nicely. Hassan Ali played it nicely. So they missed out in their middle overs where Hussain Tallat and Iftikhar was setting them up, and as soon as they got the first ball to hit, straight to the fielders. So yeah, I think Islamabad made it look harder than it actually was. And to be frank, Lahore even made it look hard. So yeah, it's just this is typical Pakistan, Pakistani cricket. Whether it's the country, they just like to keep you on the edge of your seats, and I love it.
A second, I can't let you just do that. Okay, these guys had to play Rashid Khan, probably the best spin bowler in the world, in Abu Dhabi, probably the best spin wicket in the world. It's not easy to bat against it.
I could see the wrong sat at home in my living room. I could see that wrong sat at home in the living room. I'm telling you, it was. They did make it hard. They did make it hard.
You need to get out of the Lancashire League and go play in the PSL, mate. You're seeing it way too well. I'm telling you, like, that performance from Rashid Khan was extraordinary. And it was generally, you can tell when Fawad Ahmed came into bowl for Islamabad as well. And, obviously when Shadab came into bowl, they weren't easy to get away. The batsmen really had to apply themselves. And yeah, totally, that middle 3 for Islamabad did let them down a little bit. But what about Usman Khwaja? 18 of 17. Not great. 11 of 7 for Munro. not thrilled about that. If you told me, James Faulkner was going to be the man who's going to get the wickets for Lahore, I wouldn't have believed you. I would say, oh, look at Shaheen Afridi. Shaheen went 4 overs, 1 for 37. Faulkner 4 overs, 3 for 32. So surely it's the guys at the top that they had to go up. They had to go after these bowlers. And Rashid Khan, who came in third change, he came in fifth, right, to bowl. He got a go at that middle order and just 4 overs, 1 for 9. Even those 9 runs, they looked so difficult to get. 15 dot balls. It's so difficult to read him. I think you got to remember there's an adjustment period as well. They played all their previous games in Karachi. Rashid Khan is a great bowler and he's effective in Karachi, but in Abu Dhabi, it's a different world.
I think we've discussed this before, where in Abu Dhabi, spin is going to be key. And you're right. On a serious note, Rashid Khan was brilliant. And that doesn't mean I couldn't see his wrong, by the way. So yeah, he was brilliant. But in the end, I think Lahore had the one good spinner and Islamabad had 2. And that was the reason why it went to the last ball. Otherwise, Lahore were very short, in my opinion. Islamabad were very short, in my opinion. The reason it went to the last few balls was because Shadab had an amazing game. I was talking earlier on the previous episode how I'm with the disappointment of Shadab's bowling recently. I'm thinking he now should become he should take the Steve Smith route and become a batsman bowler rather than a bowler batsman. But today he bowled beautifully, and so did Fawad. So I think spin is going to be key. Rashid Khan he's going to be the top bowler of the tournament, isn't he? Really, like nobody could touch him, right?
Look, bro. Just look at the stats, right? Just look at the stats. So Fawad Ahmed, 4 overs, 1 for 24. So he's got a runnable, exceptional, 7 dot balls. Shadab Khan, 3 overs, 1 for 23. He's bowled 8 dot balls. He went for 7.66. Rashid Khan bowled 15 dot balls. He bowled as many dot balls as Fawad and Shadab combined. That's how good he is. Like, Fawad and Shadab are great. Don't get me wrong, great players. Rashid Khan right now is operating on a different planet. He's on that a completely different level. And again, he was the X factor with the bat as well. He took that confidence in. Had it not been for his little swashbuckling effort, he hit 3 balls. So remember, last over, 16 runs were required off the last over. And that's not easy to get in Abu Dhabi. But Rashid Khan found the gaps, hit 3 boundaries in a row, and effectively put it within Lahore's reach. Otherwise, Islamabad were going to nick this win.
Yeah. So the thing is where do we analyze this game? It's like halfway through, it was like, right, Islamabad have got this in the bag. Lahore then made it hard for themselves. And yeah, I think it's too early in Abu Dhabi to say anything. Yes, we think the spin's going to work, but it's just too early. We have to keep in mind that there was some really weak performances today. There wasn't except for Rashid Khan, there wasn't a standout player.
Well, Sohail Akhtar got 40 off 30.
Yeah, but let's not start with Sohail Akhtar. I think this is what the PSL needed today. It needed to excite the guys in Pakistan who are falling asleep watching this, because it's 11-12 p.m. at night. This was what they needed, and I think great entertainment value, and the underdogs always somehow in the last season or two, they're doing their owner proud, and I can't wait to see him on TV somewhere. I don't know whether he's loud in the ground or not, or wherever. They should stream wherever he's watching the matches from. They should put a live camera in front of him and let the world just enjoy his expressions when something like this happens. Today was brilliant.
Yeah, it certainly was, and it was. I think it was very exciting. Like, okay, you didn't see those big innings or anything. Sohail Akhtar top scoring today with 40 off 30. 5 boundaries, 6 in there as well. Fakhar Zaman started very excitingly. And here's the thing, by the way, my moment of the match, it's a dual moment. It was Fakhar Zaman and Mohammad Fazan both playing 2 of the worst shots I've seen in a very long time to get out. Fakhar going across the line to a nothing, Fahim Ashraf bowled, put it on a decent line, nothing more. It was a decent line, nothing more. It didn't move, it didn't swing, it didn't seam, it didn't do anything. It just straight delivery, and Fakhar played all around it. It was just a disgusting shot for a player of that quality. And Mohammad Fazan, again, he had this wonderful opportunity to really stamp his authority on the game. Again, it's not a crazy run rate they were chasing. He got 9 off 12, hit 1 good-looking boundary, and then just came down the track and wafted aimlessly, and Shadab took, the easiest bowl of his life. It was really poor. Like those two, I will back you on, were really, really poor. But again, Mohammad Hafiz looked very, very good. I think it took a very clever piece of bowling from Hassan Ali to dismiss Hafiz. Ben Dunk, again, was held back by Hassan Ali very, very well. Tim David performed quite well for Lahore. They'll be pleased with that. 23 or 15 for the Singapore man from Australia, if you can work that one out. But yeah, the overseas contingent for Lahore. Lahore, I think, were the only team, or will be the only team, fielding 4 overseas players in each of their games. Remember, the restrictions have changed now, so you can get away with playing 2 overseas players in each game because of COVID-related squad changes. Lahore went with all 4, and Islamabad went with 2, I believe. Yeah, Colin Munro and Usman Khwaja. So, like they just got their team a little bit more right than everybody else. But I think, Arif, like in this tournament, we're going to see much lower scores than we were seeing in Karachi. Like now, the median, the average score is going to be sort of 140, 150, and that will always be competitive. What do you think?
I don't think. I think it's too early. It's too early to say that because it's one game. I think they underscored, in my opinion. The pitch, the pitch and the bowlers, it just didn't feel like a 130, 140 pitch, especially if Hassan Ali and Wasim are coming in and playing it so well at the end.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm trying to say? They played it like if they were opening batsmen. So surely there's more in that pitch.
Well, maybe. I guess so. I mean, look, the kind of headline is that Lahore won the game by 5 wickets. That doesn't tell you the whole story. That also, by the way, takes them to the top of the PSL table. Every team has now played 5 games. Lahore are at the top with 8 points. They've played 5 and won 4. Just the one loss in there. Karachi in second place. They've played 5, won 3, lost 2, and they've got 6 points. And Bashar Zalmi, who are in action tomorrow, and Islamabad United both even on 6 points as well with Karachi. So all to play for, still very early, still loads of games to go. 2 games tomorrow, Arif. Who's going to win? Let's go to Karachi Kings versus Multan Sultans first. What do you reckon? Who's winning that game?
I'm going to go with the underdog again. I'm going to go with the Multan Sultans.
Yeah, I think so. I think Karachi are going to have a difficult time, in UAE. I think, the pitches in Karachi, oddly enough, suited Karachi a lot more. They do have Mohammad Amir, and he's a very astute bowler. He knows how to mix things up. But even so, I think it's really the spin that's going to dominate. I think Multan Sultans will take that game.
Yeah, I just feel there's 1 or 2 players in the Multan Sultans team who have a lot to prove, and I reckon they'll be up for doing that, which should take a few wins for them.
And the second game, the evening game, and these are all coming at very unusual times, really. So in the UK, they're going to be at 2 p.m. and 7 p.m. If you're in Pakistan, they're going to be at 6 p.m. and 11 p.m. So very bizarre starts, but it is very hot in the UAE, so they have to do whatever they can to try and make it playable for themselves. Second game is Lahore Qalandars in action again, back-to-back days against Peshawar Zalmi. What do you think? Well, I mean, based on what you've seen today, do you think Lahore are going to come through on top again? Rashid Khan in world-class form. Even though Shaheen wasn't as potent as useful, Rashid kind of filled in that gap. What do you think? Are Peshawar going to come in tomorrow and expose Lahore, or are Lahore going to continue their run at the top?
No, I think the Lahore will do it. I think having this game in their belt, knowing the conditions, and having someone like Rashid Khan fully fit and running in and bowling like that, you can't go wrong. I think the only way Peshawar can win tomorrow is if they put a Bluetooth ear set to my living room, and I can tell them every time there's a long one coming, because wow, that guy is a brilliant bowler.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. Thank you so much.
By the way, he's not 22. He's not 22.
Who's that? Who are we talking about? Rashid Khan.
There is no chance he's 22. If he's 22, I'm 16.
Well, I can just tell you what Cricinfo tells me. I have.
Can I mention a few players?
Of course.
Fahim Ashraf, brilliant. I think he's been one of the best finds for Pakistan in recent years. The moment of the sort of the match, or the shot of the match for me, has got to be Wasim's what was it, the scoop over his head. Yeah. That was brilliant. And the funniest moment of the match, and I think you mentioned this to me because your sort of transmission was slightly ahead of mine, is Asif Ali trying to field on the boundary and rolling over. It's like I went to the kitchen, made a cup of tea, came back, and he was still rolling over. It was just brilliant to watch.
Asif Ali, poor Asif Ali, he just moved around so lethargically in the deep. Well, let's see. I won't say anything about Asif Ali. I did find that a bit funny. There were loads of funny things going on with the coverage today. In the UK, we saw a lot of alien style sound effects at some stage as well.
Yeah,
Did you hear those?
yeah. I actually thought that was deliberate on the aerial bit. I thought that was part of their marketing, but then it happened again on one of the commentators' voices. I think it was Elliot's voice, and then I thought, hang on, this is a mistake. Somebody's stepping on a dodgy cable somewhere. But you know what? You got to give it to these guys. They've set up quickly in the UAE, and the coverage is fantastic. I'm not a big fan of how they're making David Gower do some funny things with the sponsorship and stuff, but yeah, they've done really well, and it's been a great start. And as cynical as I am normally, I'm quite excited now. So bring on the next game.
Absolutely. The next pair of games tomorrow as well. And yeah, great, as you mentioned, to have David Gower there. Of course, all the English players are playing in the T20 Blast. There was a great game in the T20 Blast as well today between Worcestershire and Nottinghamshire, which ended in a tie. What a game it was. Moeen Ali had a really good game, and Alex Hills had a really good game. Both of whom, of course, were missing in the PSL, but it was great to see them doing their thing in the T20 Blast today. We'll be back tomorrow with another post-match chat. In the meantime, tell us, what did you make of today's game? Whose performance did you enjoy the most? And who do you think is going to win tomorrow? Make sure you comment below so that you can show off to your friends that you were right today. Karachi Kings versus Multan Sultans, Lahore Qalandars versus Peshawar Zalmi. That's all coming up tomorrow. Please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to try and put out content every single day during this PSL resumption. Until tomorrow, when we're back again, from myself, Aatif Nawaz, from Arif Asif, goodbye, everybody.